My green beans are starting to take off. They're growing up the fence. So the green beans are starting to take off and they're growing up the fence. Over in the corner here is some asparagus that we planted a couple years ago, and it's finally starting to take off. Over here is a zucchini plant or yellow squash plant. I planted corn this year for the first time since we've moved out here, and it seems to be doing pretty good. And then of course my lettuce patch, which has grown bigger than I dreamed it could. Over here we've got some basil. I've been doing a good job of taking off leaves and pinching stems. And I've got quite a lot of basil. And then over here is my celery. It's my first time growing celery. I really don't know what to do with it, or when to harvest it. This is my biggest head of broccoli this year. You can see it's pretty big, bigger than my hand. Right next to the lettuce, I planted some flowers, some zinnias and petunias, and they're getting kind of overshadowed by the lettuce. I thought I had left enough space. Next to the lettuce, I planted a row of Swiss chard, another thing that I haven't grown before. I thought I'd give it a try this year. And I don't care for the taste of raw Swiss chard. I haven't looked in to see what kind of recipes I can use to prepare them, but so far it's mostly gone to the rabbits and chickens for eating, just so I can keep the plants under control. And then right next to them is the ground cherries. I forgot what they were called for a moment. And these plants are taking off. And they're getting a lot bigger than I thought they would be. Here's my carrot patch. It came in kind of spotty this year. I had wanted to try the plank method, covering up the seeds until they sprouted, but I forgot to do that. And then we had some crazy weather at the beginning of June. And then next to them is some of my tomato plants. In front of the tomato plants is a row of flowers, marigolds, petunias, more zinnias. I have many rows of tomatoes this year, and some of them have really taken off. And I'll be pruning them in a little bit, so there's better air circulation. I decided to try growing brandywine this year for the very first time, and already I'm seeing my first funky heritage breed tomato with cat facing. But look at all these tomato blossoms. Here's what's left of my sweet peas. I tried a different method for starting sugar snap peas this year, and I thought I really had it, and then we had that awful weather and they never fully recovered. And I'm sure you can see all the peas that are growing. I'm gonna try and let those go and see if I can save the peas for next year. Something fun to try. My hot pepper plants this year, I decided to try growing Carolina Reapers and ghost peppers and I think habaneros. And they started out slow, but they're starting to catch up now. And here's the Carolina Reapers. And here's the ghost chilies, a whole row of each one. And then I do believe these are the habaneros. Oh no, I take that back. These are my bell pepper plants. These are my habanero plants. And those are looking pretty good. And then of course I have a row of jalapeno plants, or two. And a couple random tomato plants to replace some of the plants lost at the beginning of the season due to the frost we got. And this is the milkweed that the monarch butterflies go on. A couple years ago it started growing in the garden and I decided to let it stay, although now it's starting to get a little bit aggressive, so I have been taking out some of the smaller stalks. Oh. A couple marigold plants to go with the cucumbers that I'm trying to grow. Look at that pretty yellow blossom. And I do believe this is a zucchini plant, which I think I see my first baby zucchini. Look at that! Oh yay! There's one. There's two. Oh, how exciting. Over in this corner I planted a cucumber and watermelon plant, and they both stayed pretty small. I didn't think anything was gonna come of the cucumber plant, but I see a blossom. I think the weather has been too erratic for the watermelons to really do anything. A couple cabbage plants that survived, and I guess I have a little friend in this one. My Ragged Jack kale that I got free seeds from Baker Creek. I thought I'd give them a try. They haven't grown as much as I thought they would. The kale plants I had last year grew huge. These ones are staying pretty small.